Take notes down. Okay, guys, tell me something about the notes. Anything you want to tell me about notes? Do you take notes? How do you take notes? Just a couple of things that maybe we can share. So, does anybody take notes? If you are taking notes, how do you do it? And I seem to highlight you do take notes while watching the videos. What about the notes that we've provided you? So do you take notes in extra access to that, or do you just sort of annotate onto those notes, or do you just use the notes in the live sessions and you make your own notes somewhere else? Okay. Notes is a very personal thing. So some people they like to make their own notes. That's the way they learn. Like they actually have to write so that they can remember. It's fine. If that's a system which works for you, then that's not a problem. Do that. The notes in the book as well. I've tried my best to keep them concise, yet at the same time elaborate enough, leaving space for you to annotate onto them. Okay, brilliant. And diagrams, fantastic. Yeah, diagrams do help as well, right? So notes is like something which is very subjective, and therefore, if you need to make extra notes, you've got the extra space at the back of the sheets as well, so you can use those if you want it for your notes. Keep all your notes in one place. The important thing about notes, I think, would be to revisit them. So not to add extra work onto that 2.5 hours which you're going to do. And again, please, I do want to touch on that. I didn't make a note of this, but I do want to touch on it. Please remind me if I do forget. The 2.5 hours plus the 1 hour webinar. So how does that all work? How are we going to do that? So inshallah, I do want to talk to you just a little bit about that. But notes is very subjective. Do your notes if you think you need to. But the important thing is probably to look over those notes again. Now, the way the notes go in our booklet is we've tried to revisit any parts, and if there's a big chunk of things that we have to repeat, we just put the whole thing back in certain places. So you'll see when you go to book 2, I think we've put the numbers from 3 to 10 back in there, simply because it's something which is a big chunk of it. So rather than putting one sentence or something, put the whole thing back in. So we try to help you so that you don't have to go back too much and look for things. But I think occasionally looking over your notes, and that doesn't have to be like a weekly thing, but maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? Again, it's on how you feel. The way the module is set as well is for you to just keep moving forward, and you'll revisit things that you've done anyway. So hopefully it avoids you having to keep looking back and recapping too much. Okay, and a point which I'm going to come to in just a while, inshallah.